Oh, yeah. It would help if I hit the button.
It's always the little things.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to drop that intro one more time. Now here we go. We're gonna drop this hook again.
Coming to you from the Black Swan Media Studios, this is Fireside Chats, talking to the real difference makers in the world. Now, here is your host, John Crump.
Okay, let's try this again. I am joined today by the one, the only, Silverback, the YouTube sensation himself. I am John Crump, GOA director for the state of Virginia. I am also a writer extraordinaire for Amaland.com, and I'm doing this little thing called live streaming. All right, let me talk to Silverback here. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. How about yourself?
I am doing a-okay. You didn't get out to the GRPC where everybody seems to be this weekend? Gun
The
rights?
GRPC.
Yeah,
No, I
gun
haven't been
rights
out there. I
policy
didn't know
conference.
much about it.
Yeah, it's in Arizona, I think, this year. I couldn't
Oh,
make it
yeah. That's too
myself.
far for me to travel right now.
Yeah, it is. Alright, I'm gonna just jump into things. One of the things that everyone wants to know is what's the deal with your nickname?
Silverback? Okay. Well, years ago, I was picking up some parts. I used to own a body shop, and I was picking up some parts because it was a hailstorm, and they were sitting on a platform outside, just kind of drying in the sun, and the hail was starting to come down. So the way I picked them up, my youngest daughter said that I looked like a gorilla, and from there on out, my wife and my daughter kept on calling me a gorilla all the time. So I was like, well, if I'm gonna be a gorilla, I might as well be the most exotic, badass gorilla there is, the silverback. So that's where I came up with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna call you Sasquatch. Kind of like that better.
Is it because of all the fur?
Oh yeah, man. If you walk around in like the Pacific Northwest, you might get shot or something by those Bigfoot hunters guys.
Right. I'm not quite tall enough for that though. I'm only 5'10", so I'm still a short guy.
You could be a baby Bigfoot.
There you go.
How'd you get into guns?
Well, I mean, I grew up in Massachusetts, and everybody knows Massachusetts is a very liberal state. Um, but growing up as a kid, you always see the cowboy movies on TV and stuff like that. So we used to play a lot of cowboys and Indians, cap guns, and things like that. But as I grew up and got older, in my teen years, I didn't really think about firearms much because of the way Massachusetts kind of puts the stigma on, firearms are just for cops or bad guys. So um, I really didn't think about it much, but when we moved down from Massachusetts to Virginia, more and more people that I started becoming friends with and things like that, own guns. It was more commonplace, being a free state. So eventually, I finally just said, you know what, I really am interested in them. So I purchased my first firearm, got a membership to the range, and just from there, it was like the potato chips. You can't just eat one.
Wait, you're from Virginia? You're in Virginia?
I'm in Virginia. Yep.
Where at?
I am actually in Mechanicsville.
Ah, near Richmond area.
Yep. Richmond, RVA. Yep.
RVA. I am up
Mhm.
in the northern part of the state, in
Right on.
Ashburn, right outside DC.
Oh, okay. Right on. So you're not too far. Maybe about an hour and 45 minutes, maybe 2 hours.
Yeah, I go down there and shoot a lot near King's Dominion and a place
Okay.
called Caroline County.
Winding Brook. You ever go to Winding Brook Indoor Shooting Range?
Nah, I
No.
go to my friend has a private range down in
Uh,
Caroline County.
Oh, right on. Right on.
Yeah, so we shoot down there a lot.
Mhm.
So maybe meet up one day, do a collab, as the kids like to say.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because that's not too far from me, like 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's about 100 miles from me. But yeah,
Hmm.
I also saw that you had some pictures of a 3% flag.
I have some pictures of a 3% flag.
Yeah,
I don't recall having any pictures.
not on your public page, but on in your group.
In the group page.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably some of the other guys that are in the group with the 3%er stuff. I mean, the militia thing's cool. You definitely need a militia, but I'm not part of any militia or anything like that. As far as it goes for me, I just believe in freedom and the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. When without all that stuff, this country would not be America any longer. So I've always been a big believer of freedom, and the Second Amendment is part of our freedom and part of our right and part of our liberty. So, in order to maintain our freedom, we need the Second Amendment.
Yeah, you are also a big supporter of GOA, Gun Owners of America, right?
Yes, I sure am. Recently, because I've been doing like some live streams once a month on my channel, and I had Jordan come on, and he actually got me a membership link to the GOA through my channel. So, I try to push it out there as much as I can because I believe, like myself, and for others who cannot get out there all the time to stand up and fight, we need people like the GOA to be able to help speak for us. So I'm a big believer in that, especially if they are active and they do what they say they're going to do and they're not just in it for the money.
Yeah, well, am the director for the state of Virginia, so I can guarantee you we're doing stuff in the state of Virginia to try to push back. In
Hmm.
fact, we were at the rally this past July down at the Capitol.
Okay.
It was
Yeah,
a
well,
bunch of
you were
army.
down there with the with the Virginia Citizens Defense League. Sorry,
Yeah,
my dogs are going crazy.
it's all right. Yeah, we work closely with those guys. Um, it's a lot of synergy between the two groups. Um, how did you get into YouTube?
All right, well, I don't know. You can still hear the dogs. I don't know what they're all howling about. Give me 1 second.
Apparently, the dogs don't like me.
No, there's probably a car drove by outside or something. I got into YouTube. I don't know. I've been watching videos like FPS Russia and Hickok 45. All the big YouTubers out there, and I don't know. I just thought to myself, hey, I could do that. And I always like to entertain people, so I just got my phone out one day and plopped it up on my lawnmower and started filming me shooting some stuff. I had an idea. What was it like? Dried up bags of concrete that I started shooting at, and just kind of ran from there. Once I had, I posted like two little cheesy videos, and then I noticed after a couple days went by, I had like 11 subscribers. Then all of a sudden, I had 20 subscribers. So I was like, all right, let me make some more videos and see what happens, and just kind of snowballed from there.
Yeah, I got up to about 2,000 subscribers on one channel, and that got shut down for dangerous content. And all I do is stuff like this, like Second Amendment talks. And then,
Yeah, that's dangerous in the eyes of the liberals.
yeah, then my second channel, they didn't shut me down, but they demonetized it totally. And I had like 1,800 there. So now I'm starting over again. But luckily, I stream other places besides just Facebook, and I stream to Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. I'm no longer putting all my eggs in one basket.
Right, right. Yeah, I have this YouTube, the Facebook group, which you're a member of, and I got a page on Gunstreamer, and that's about really all I have time for. So, I mean, I work a full time job, got the family and everything else. So, I mean, I get 2 days a week to create videos, and I try to bunch as much in there as possible and try to put them out and schedule them so they'll air when they can air. But for the longest time, I was only doing just one video a week on Sundays. Now I'm starting to do 2 videos a week and trying to put those on like Mondays and Wednesdays or Thursdays. So the channel's been growing. It's been growing pretty good. I'm hoping it'll keep growing, so we'll just see what happens.
Yeah, on the channel that had like 2,000 subscribers on, I was doing videos like 4 times a week, and I just got so burnt out. I was working a full-time job trying to produce videos, plus have kids and wife, and I was doing everything when they went to bed. So it just got too much.
Yeah. So I've recently here I've skipped out on a few videos because I've had to do a little bit of side work to make up for some money lost when the company I was working for closed down. So I had to find another job, and it just doesn't pay as good as the other job. So so I know what you mean. It gets real tough and real tight sometimes, and you just got to find the time to buckle down and make the videos, and if you want to be consistent and keep up your channel and your brand, as some people would like to call it. But I don't know. I've grown to really enjoy making videos. It's kind of like me time, really, when I'm making the video. So I get to let a little bit of my funny personality, I guess, jump out, and because I really have a good time doing it. So like I said, it's for me, but it's also for everybody else, so that's the way I look at it. I like to share what I'm doing in the firearms world with other people. I don't really know everything there is to know about firearms, and sometimes you'll see in my videos, I'll ask questions, and I welcome comments where people will help teach me stuff as well. So
yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that I do think a lot of people on YouTube kind of don't take advantage of. A lot of them try, I don't know what's the correct word to say. They don't want to have their expertness questioned.
Well, I'm far from being an expert, so I don't care.
Yeah. You can tell an expert because they say they're not an expert. You can tell who's not an expert because they say they are an expert.
Right.
And I find most things in life is that way. So were you at the Creator Summit this past weekend?
I was not. Again, that's all having to do with the fact that I had to start this new job. I didn't have time off to be able to get out that way and go up there. But I have been to Thunder Valley Precision once before, hanging out with Tyven and Chris and Derek a little over a year ago. When Tyven was actually just getting to know the owner of Thunder Valley Precision. We all went up there, and it was the day he created a commercial for Thunder Valley. So we were there that day, and I'll tell you, we spent 6 or 7 hours just shooting rifles all day long, man. It was awesome.
Yeah. Getting started in YouTube, what would you tell someone who's just getting started? What would you tell them to do? What would you do different?
For me, I would say you want to take it serious, but you don't want to be too serious, because this is something. If you want to, I think if you want to have longevity in it, you want to have fun with it. A lot of the big guys you see, you can tell they're having fun doing what they're doing. And just be loose, be light, be yourself. You don't have to come up there acting like you're some kind of, what's that guy's name? James Yeager. Yeah, so it doesn't have to be about all of that, just be out there, be yourself, and do what you like doing. Really, that's where the great videos come from. I think, if you're just doing something that you think is going to be really fun and you're excited about it, that's where it all comes from.
Firearms Fanatic says that he is an expert on Canics.
Yes. He knows a lot about Canics. He's also runs that group Canic Nation, so they do a lot of stuff with Canics.
I kind of really like the Canics. I don't like them because they're imported by Century Arms, but I do like them.
Yeah, Century Arms isn't the greatest place in the world, but they do import some very nice stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're the AKs they make. I've heard a lot of horror stories about theirs, but
The Res 47.
yeah, but the ones they import are okay.
Yeah, they import them from a factory out, and they're in Romania, I think it is.
Yeah,
Uh,
Zastava.
yeah,
Well,
Zastava,
that's actually Serbia.
Serbia. Well,
Yeah.
well, there is the Wasser tins. There is another company importing them from the same exact factory,
Really?
but they have like an upgraded muzzle, upgraded grip. They use a Tango down grip, which is incredible. They ship with X-Tech mags, which is incredible. Um, and they have like an Arsenal handrail and stuff like that. And they're
Mhm.
actually cheaper than the Wasser tins directly from Century.
Wow.
So it's actually, you get better stuff, cheaper price. It's called Lee Armory.
Okay, I haven't heard of them, but I'll check them out.
Yeah, they're just starting. I
Right.
reviewed one of their guns and it was just spectacular. It was
Wow.
like an upgraded Wasser 10, but it's cheaper. So,
Yeah, I mean, how can you complain about that?
yeah. So, then Century won't talk to me anymore.
Oh, well, I guess you got to pick and choose, right?
Yeah, well, what was I gonna say? I pointed out that it's basically the same gun because it's made in the same place, but it's upgraded and it's cheaper. And I don't think they'd like that too much.
Right. Yeah, like Firearms Fanatic was saying, so AKs aside, they are amazing at customer service, but Canik USA is almost its own entity within Century. So, well, hopefully Canik can just break away from Century and be their own thing.
Yeah,
Uh,
Canik USA is basically a separate entity.
mhm.
There's basically almost no overlap between Canik USA and Century proper.
Okay.
But Canics are awesome. I love them. They're for the price you pay, you get
Mhm.
one hell of a gun.
Yeah, I've been looking at the, was it the TP9 SF Elite? I'm
That's the one
thinking
I've been
about
looking at.
purchasing. Yeah, I'm thinking about purchasing that one, but I got to do a few more side jobs to get up the funds for that.
Yeah, I'm thinking about purchasing that, but my wife is already not too happy with me um, with all the guns I own already. So
Yeah, my wife. This is what I get when I come home with a new gun. Why? And I say because, and then she's like, okay.
yeah, shout out to Archangel out there, good guy. Yeah, is your dog's okay, man?
Yeah, no, they're still going.
Someone that's not trying to John Wick them, are they?
Well, I hope not, because they're gonna meet a very bad end if they are.
What type of dogs do you have?
I got four. Two of them are mutts, but they're just little tiny puppies that we just got recently. But the other two is a beagle and a Rottweiler. That's what you're hearing all the noise from.
All right. Well, getting back into the topic of firearms and firearms rights, because it's basically what we do.
Hmm.
You live in Virginia, which right now there is a huge battle for gun rights in Virginia, right?
Hmm. And go ahead.
What do you think about the chances of Virginia remaining a free state after the election in November?
Well, I guess that really depends all on how the election goes, but I'm still going to put it better than fair because of groups like the Virginia Citizens Defense League and all the members that they have and how hard they push. Same thing with the Gun Owners of America, because they're headquartered here, as you know, right here in Virginia as well. So, and with well, geez, there's probably a good 70% of Virginians that are gun owners, and so, like I said, I think we stand a fair chance, maybe better than fair, of still remaining a free state after the elections. It's unfortunate that people let themselves be swayed by the actions of a few, and then you get stuff like the media that runs wild and just only shows the whole evil of it all and wants to play on everybody's emotions, and the Democrats follow suit, and they love it because the media is all over it and they're pushing their agenda for them and everything. So, but I think we have enough people in Virginia with enough common sense that we would remain a free state.
I hope you're right. I'm not as confident as you are.
Well, I guess living in Northern Virginia, you might think that.
Well, the reason why I think that is that the last election, we remained a free state by one person.
Mm.
And you know how many votes decided that election?
How many?
None.
Wow.
What they had to do, there was a tie, so they had to draw names out of a hat.
Mm.
If they would have drawn the Democrat out of the hat, the special session that happened over the summer,
yep,
all that gun laws would have passed. And they got another special session coming up right after the election.
Yep.
So we really got to push to get candidates who are pro-gun out there. Right now, the one who's in the most danger is Nick Freitas, who's not on the ballot. You actually have to write his name in.
Yeah.
And if his seat flips, because he's a GOA endorsed, good gun guy. He's the former Navy SEAL or Green Beret or something like that, that did that really passionate speech on the House floor of the Virginia Assembly.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So if he loses, then we're screwed. But yeah,
right.
it's a scary time, not only here but everywhere else. Go ahead.
Yeah, the thing I was thinking, in watching how the country is folding the way it's folding, Virginia also being so close to DC, which kind of is on the not free side. But if we were to lose Virginia, this state, to the anti-gunners, I think a lot more states would fold at that point.
Yeah, I do. That's why the GOA is pushing heavily in Virginia to keep Virginia like a free gun state.
Yeah.
A couple things. Firearms Fanatic says he calls it created in 1984 with the Fear Machine, and I absolutely 100% agree with you. And then the Archangel came back and said he is 76% sure no one's gonna take his firearms.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. Yeah.
It's good. Do you see the David Hogg thing where David Hogg was talking about mass shootings, and he started talking about how the first mass shooting started at Wounded Knee?
Yeah, where he had all his information completely asked backwards and wrong.
So it's like, okay, there was a gun confiscation, then the government came in and killed everyone. It's like, that's why we want our guns.
Yes, exactly. He just made a point for the Second Amendment more than he did for not having the Second Amendment.
Yeah, he's an idiot.
Well, I mean, they don't teach these kids anything in school anymore. Like when I went to school, I took vocational classes and learned how to do auto body work, when I was in school. But I also had to take some other classes, and I tell you, history was one of my favorites, especially when it came back to like World War II and Vietnam era and all that stuff. I loved history. I probably got the best grade in history out of everything other than shop class. So, I really don't remember a lot of that stuff now unless I go back and refresh myself on it. But I always just found it fascinating, in the creation of the United States and how we came to be, and the reason why we have the Bill of Rights is because It's to keep the government from overreaching their bounds like they're doing now. So, I mean, what they're doing now is pure treason to the foundation of this country. And, really, we, the people, should be able to make note of that and put these people under some kind of form of arrest or something for treason, because it's our country, it's not theirs, and they're acting as if it's their country and not ours.
Yeah, it's one of those things where they get so hyped up on emotion that they don't really look at facts. And that's their weapon. I always like to say that emotion is good for getting things done. But if your emotion is not based on facts, then it's actually a bad thing.
All right. Well, that's where, because emotion gets in the way of facts. And, as far as like these people with their agenda, they don't care about the facts, but they care about their constituents being the emotional ones, so that way they can keep stringing them along like the Pied Piper, leading them to the cliff.
Yeah. What do you think about Trump and leaked Barr memo?
I haven't really read up much on it. I'm not the biggest Trump fan there is out there. I will say I agree with a lot of the stuff that he has done, but I don't know. Trump's a little strange, because he's not a presidential type of person. He's never been. He's a CEO, a big businessman, which makes him good at running things. So, I agree with a lot of the things he has done that have helped out our country. But he's wishy-washy on a lot of other things, and you can tell when he's being wishy-washy, especially when he's speaking to the press and he keeps sidestepping the questions by saying, "Oh yeah, we got a lot of things working. We're talking to a lot of people and all this stuff." So I just think he doesn't really have anything in mind at that moment, and he just doesn't want to blurt it out because he's afraid of being wrong.
That was the perfect Trump impression. Yeah, but the Barr memo basically said it's going to set up they don't use the word universal background checks, but they're going to create a new class of people to run background checks for like private sales and stuff like that.
Well, I remember hearing something about that
the app,
phone app that they were going to do about running background checks. I mean, that's just as bad, because you're going to have all these people's information, their social security numbers. I mean, how much damage if one wrong person who's like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and sell a gun to this guy so I can get his information, and how much identity theft and fraud can go on from that. It's just ridiculous.
You have to make a chain of custody, and if you don't have the chain of custody, you're going to be liable, like legally liable. So you can be charged with a civil penalty for not keeping a chain of custody, unless you let an FFL hold it and submit it to the government, of course. Then you don't have to worry about having a chain of custody.
All right. Well, see, my thing is I don't sell my guns, so I don't have nothing to worry about. And I'd prefer to buy them from a store, the legal channels, just because that way you don't have to worry about, oh, well, possibly that was a stolen gun or anything of that nature. I mean, sometimes you're going to be like, oh, man, I should have done it because that was a hell of a deal and I'll never come up on it again. But to me, unless I really know the person that I'm going to be possibly purchasing it from, then I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to go to a gun show and see this guy walking around and, buy a gun from him because I don't know him. So, that, not to say that you're going to get away with something that you shouldn't be getting away with, but I don't know. It's just for my own peace of mind, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I do. That's just me. I also make my own. I have a CNC machine in my basement, so I just CNC my own lowers.
Sweet. I seen one guy. I can't remember what the heck the name of his channel was, but he took this brass block that he melted all the casings down, and he milled out his own lower from that thing, and it came out nice.
Yeah, I'm doing that. I'm also looking into this 3D printer, which I'm not going to be able to afford anytime soon because my wife won't let me afford it. Because they're like $3,000 to $5,000. But it 3D prints, but it's not like standard plastic. It's metal mixed in with the plastic.
Okay.
So
It's like a composite material.
Yeah, it's like a plastic metal hybrid mix. And I got some samples of it, and it's actually stronger than a lot of the polymer lowers that's on the market.
Right.
So I want one so bad.
Like that Omni hybrid lower.
Yeah, it's actually stronger than that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I almost bought one. Let's see. When I go to buy a firearm, I like to do research on it first.
Yeah. Well,
to see if there's any horror stories about that, out there about them anywhere or anything like that. So, I don't just jump into things lightly, especially if I'm going to be spending that kind of money. So, I'll research them quite a bit first. And I definitely stepped away from that Omni hybrid because of all the pictures of cracked receivers I've seen. A couple of videos I've seen. One guy bought one, took it home and started to build it. He noticed the lower was cracked, so he sent it back to him, and they sent him another one that had a crack on the opposite side. So he was just like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to win by continuing to, go back and forth with the company. So he just cut his losses and went and bought a Aero Precision lower. So
yeah. The thing that confuses me about the Omni hybrid lower, how they do it is they reinforce some of the different parts with metal. This is more of the whole thing is reinforced with metal.
Right, so, which is good.
Yeah, but getting back to the Omni hybrids, New Frontier Armory, they make a polymer lower that has a less of a failure rate, and theirs is 100% polymer than the metal polymer hybrid.
Right.
Which, if you think about it, that shouldn't be the case.
No, definitely not, because the polymer itself is probably a lot weaker, has a more tendency when it heats up to stretch and expand. So, it's kind of mind-boggling that they're having more success than the hybrids or whatever.
I think it's their quality control is a lot better.
Right. Well, I'm sure they reinforce certain areas with steel or something in there.
But the lower really shouldn't have to. Because all the pressure is in the upper.
Right. Well, I think, especially because most of what I've seen with the Omni hybrid ones, where they're cracking is right around where the buffer tube comes in.
Yeah.
Just below that, where the detent pins go through.
Yeah.
That's where all the problems are at, because that area does have pressure put on it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but I mean, that's it's unfortunate. I don't know what they were thinking, or like their quality control must suck.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I took a look at it, and then once I did all the research, I never touched it again. So I didn't really look over the rifle or the lowers or any of that stuff. So, like I said, and plus talking to a few other people that I know that are in the business of reviewing lots and lots of guns, different guns and things like that, pretty much just said the same thing I was thinking, just stay away from it. So. Yeah. But I mean, there are some people out there that put out these YouTube videos talking about how the second gen Omni hybrids, I can't remember, it's not the hybrid Max, but it's a new one that came out after the Max, doesn't have any more of those problems. I guess they worked them out somehow. I don't know.
Yeah, don't ever believe those videos. I wrote an article about, I'm not going to mention the company, but I trashed one of their guns. It was just trash. And they asked me, well, hey, can you write an update saying that, you sent it back and we fixed it and everything's awesome with it? But no.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, but that's not the case. And they offer me any gun off their website.
Hmm.
So I think it was like 3 guns. If it picked 3 guns off their website, we'll give it to you free and clear.
Right. I'm trying to buy your review. Yeah.
Yeah. I turned them down, of course.
Hmm.
But one of my friends was like, "Yeah, just tell them you'll rewrite it. Then rewrite it. It still sucks." That's how I got the gun.
Yeah. So I got it back after they fixed the problems, and it still has problems. I mean, hey, I would have let them, send me another one. So okay, so there, they fixed it. I played with it a little bit more, and it still has problems. So I mean,
Yeah, but they dropped a couple names of a couple big YouTubers who they say they've worked out similar deals with, and I'm like, well, it's not gonna be me.
right. Yeah, because there are some of those guys out there who are just looking for a paycheck, and they'll say whatever the company wants them to say just so they can get that paycheck.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Well,
that's the world we live in. Money is is a big deal to some people. So
yeah, I work for AmmoLand, so if I did that and they found out, I would not be working for AmmoLand anymore.
right, yeah, I'm sure there's a few people that wouldn't be very happy about it.
Yeah, I mean it's just the way it is. Do you have any upcoming things that you want to share with us?
Well, the only real big upcoming thing that I have, other than just still making my videos, my silly little videos, is the Gunathon. That's the next thing that I'll be able to attend anytime recently.
Oh yes, let's talk about that.
Yeah,
I haven't heard of that.
you haven't heard of that,
No.
huh? Well, seeing as how there was a certain guy that gave me an invite to it.
Oh yeah, that's right. I did organize it.
But like I said, I'm looking forward to it. Getting out there and supporting the GOA, and meeting up with some other people. So I mean, I think it's going to be an exciting time. And that what's it? The Silver Eagle Group is where it's being held at.
Yeah, it's an awesome place.
It looks pretty exciting.
Yeah, you haven't even seen the event center yet.
No, I have not.
They have a 1,000-person event center, 33 ranges. It's gonna be incredible. I'm not sure if you saw all who's coming or not.
No, I didn't really see the full list. I know Philip Van Cleve was on the list. I love Philip, man. He's an awesome guy. I seen Hank Strange was on there. My buddy Tyven. A few other people. I really didn't pay much attention to it, but I'm just like, I'll just wait to see who's there and leave it as a surprise.
Yeah, Hank Strange, Tyven, is gonna be there. American Gun Check, who's been on the show, who's an incredible person. Eric from Iraqi Vet 888.
Oh, cool.
The Gun Collective's going to be there. John Patton's going to be there. Kevin Dixie.
Oh yeah, Kevin, man. Oh, Kevin's my man.
Yeah, he'll be there. Eric Pratt's going to be speaking. Maj Toure.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. I really want to meet Maj.
Yeah, Maj is a good guy. Good friend. It's going to be a lot. Reed Hendricks from Valor Ridge.
Yeah, Valley Ridge. They're down there in Tennessee.
Yeah, he's coming out for it. Jason David Frank, who's going to be on the show next week.
Mm-hmm.
He was the Green Ranger.
The Power Rangers guy.
Yeah, actually really big into guns. So he's going to be there. So if you're out there and you want to come to the Gunathon, I would totally suggest coming, because it's going to be an incredible time. We're going to be having giveaways. We're going to be giving away I think 5 guns right now.
Nice.
Hopefully we're going to be giving away 8. That's my goal, so we can give away a gun every hour.
Right on. So it's only a one-day event, right?
It's a one-day event. Yep.
And that was what, April 25th, correct?
April 25th, we're going to have people from different manufacturers bring out their guns out for us to shoot as well. So we're going to go try out a gun from some of the companies, which we're under wraps right now. You're going to be able to. But
Right on.
go try it out. It's going to be awesome. 1776 United is going to be making the t-shirts.
Sweet.
And we have the biggest names yet that are not announced quite yet.
Oh, okay.
Household names, not just in the gun world, but
Right.
like if you went and told your mom these names, she would know.
My mom's pretty old, so I mean, I'm not a
still
spring
would know.
chicken either. So
She would still know.
right on. Okay, cool. Firearm Fanatic says, "Man, the Green Ranger is his boy."
Yeah, he's gonna be on the show next week. Jason's actually a really cool guy. When I first reached out to Jason about doing the gunathon, he's like, "It's for GOA." I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "I'm in." He's like, "Where is it?" He was like, "What date?" He was like, "All right, I'm booking my hotel, booking my flight."
Sweet. Yeah, the nice thing for me is I think I mapped it out to about an hour and 45 minutes for me to get up there. So
Yeah.
I'll be driving. I'll be getting up early in the morning and driving.
Yeah, we're doing a dinner the night before.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know if I'll be able to make that, but Friday, because I got to work Friday, so I don't get out till 5 o'clock. And by the time I'm done with the stress of chasing the clowns around all day at work, I'm pretty tired.
Yeah, what do you do?
I run a parts department at a body shop in a service center. So, yeah, I'll deal with mechanics and parts people and things all day, and all I do is buy parts so they can fix cars.
Now, do you think that doing the YouTube videos helps relieve some of the stress from that?
Oh, definitely, man, because I get out there and I get to shoot and I get to just not think about anything other than what I'm doing at that moment, so it definitely helps relieve the stress for me. Like cutting the grass, man. I'll go out there and I'll cut the yard. It takes me about 3 hours to cut all my grass that I got around here and clean up the place. And I just put some music on and I don't think about anything else but. So it's the same thing when I get out there and make the videos or just go out just to shoot. I don't think about anything but that. So it definitely helps take away some stresses from the week.
Yeah. Oh, so Firearm Fanatic actually met JDF. Yeah, he's a really cool guy, really friendly guy too. I mean, he's always keeping in contact, just checking up. Hey, how you doing? Haven't heard from you in a couple of days. Just want to make sure everything is going okay.
Cool, right on. That's a good dude right there.
Yeah, a really good dude. Would you ever consider doing YouTube full time?
Well, yeah, I would love to do it full time, but I can't do it for free. So, unfortunately, until I can actually get some money for what I'm doing on YouTube, it's just going to be a hobby until then. So, but I'm not going to be like some of them other guys out there that are, I don't know, some people like to call them paid shills or whatever. I mean, my YouTube, my version, yes, I do some reviews. I just kind of got into those maybe about 6 or 8 months ago. Get a lot of these little Amazon products and things of that nature. I try to focus on, like, when they put up their stats of what the product is, I try to focus on a couple of key things that I think are important about the product based on their description of the product. So, and that's what I'll do in my video reviews of those products. But if I'm making a video as I'm testing these products out and I don't like the products, I do not do a video review on it. I'll leave an Amazon review, but I won't do a YouTube review on it. Because obviously for me, I don't think it's worth it for me to go out and tell people, hey, go out and buy this thing, because it's not worth it. So those videos, they just go in the trash. So, but my thing, like, I guess you could call me like a cross between Hickok 45 and Demolition Ranch almost, but with a little weird twist in the mix of all that because I'm all over the place with my videos, all over the place. I make some silent videos. I'll just do some random off the wall testing where I'm destroying some stuff, or I'll just do some crazy, silly shenanigans or something, because I get joy in brightening up people's day. So, there's been a lot of videos where I've had comments on where like, man, I needed that laugh. Thanks for that video, stuff like that. And that's more of who I am. So that's more where I think I'll continue my journey on down that line. But yeah, if I could get paid for being a silly gorilla all day, I would do it.
Yeah, man, you can get sponsors.
Yeah, I would love some sponsors, especially an ammo sponsor, because man, I burn a lot of ammo. A lot of ammo.
Yeah, I got an ammo sponsor, which is it's called the Warriors Revolution,
Mm-hmm.
out of Colorado.
Okay.
And they're actually really good guys. Firearms Fanatic says you have a unique style.
Right. Thank you. I
Now, is that
appreciate
bad
that.
or is that good?
Well,
I know. I
if it's
like your
coming from
style.
him, I think it's a good thing.
I like your style. You brought up Demolition Ranch before.
Uh,
An interesting thing is about a year ago, I was watching some kids show, and
mm,
they were talking about veterinarian stuff.
right.
And there was Matt from Demolition Ranch on
Yeah,
some.
Dr. Matt. Yep.
Yeah, he was doing, had some, like doing a kids show on like
Yeah.
ABC or NBC.
Right on.
I'm like, I wonder if they know what his hobby is.
Yeah. Yeah. He's big time, man. I'll tell you what, he is really big time. I mean, he's so young, and he's got a lot of energy. And he's got himself spread out into a lot of different things, and he's got it going on, man. He's big time. He's making a lot of money,
Yeah,
with that merchandise warehouse that he has. Plus, he's a veterinarian and has his own vet clinic.
he has a
Then
vet
he,
channel too.
huh?
He has a vet channel too.
Yeah, yeah, Vet Ranch. Yep.
Vet
And then he's
ranch,
got
yeah.
Off the Ranch, where it's just like a vlogging channel. Yeah, his dad's a veterinarian. I don't know if you ever seen On the Ranch with Dr. Lee. I think it's called.
No.
That's his channel. That's Matt's dad's channel. Dr. Lee. He's a really really nice guy. Um, yeah, I mean, if there's someone you would like to aspire to be like, I don't know him in person. I don't know. He could be a dickhead in real life, but the way he portrays himself, through all his YouTube activity, and he seems like a really good guy, and like he wants to be on top of the world, and spread around the love if he can.
Well, I know his vet practice is like a discount vet practice where they
Oh,
charge
nice.
you less. Not like a discount, like a Kmart discount, but
Mm,
for if you don't have enough money, they'll comp a lot of stuff.
right. That's awesome. Well, I mean, I guess because he makes so much money and everything else that he does, he's definitely able to do that, and it's a good thing that he does it. I mean, taking care of your pets, because I mean, your pets are like your family. I mean, we got shit. My house is like literally a tiny petting zoo. We have 6 cats, 4 dogs, a guinea pig, 2 chinchillas, a bearded dragon, 2 parakeets. So I mean, if one of our animals was to get sick, it would be pretty devastating. So it's great that you have veterinarians out there that will help you out regardless of your monetary stature.
Somebody's asking. Let's see. I can throw it up here. Paladin handgun challenge. Anything that he wants to learn? What? Paladin Handgun Challenge. Anything he wants to learn from that and wants to share?
I don't even see that up there.
You can't see it. It's
Okay.
coming from one of the other.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. Oh, well, the Paladin handgun challenges. Mainly what I learned from that was focus. Trying to focus. You get that shot timer next to you. It does add a little bit of what do you call it? A little bit of anxiety to it because you're under a little bit more pressure because you got to make sure you can, beat that time. We were shooting at 6-inch circles and trying to go in for score, trying to keep as many within the circle as we could. And at 1, 3, and 5 yards, we were doing them at 3.5 seconds, 5 shots at 3.5 seconds, and changing hands. So also it helped with dexterity too, because not always are you going to be like, say if it's during the wintertime and you get attacked, you slip and fall. If you're a right hand and you land on your right hand and you can't pull the trigger anymore because like you broke your finger or something. So we practice a lot with using our left hands too. So there's a number of things that I think it's helped me out with.
What's the most critical thing that you learned though, if you had to narrow it down to one?
I would say mainly my focus on being under pressure with that timer and everything. So, which you're going to have to be, it doesn't really, create an actual scenario, but it does add that little bit of extra pressure to you to make sure you can get those shots off quick enough and on target. So I think that's probably the most critical thing I've learned from it.
Yeah, it does look very interesting. I saw one drill where it was an interesting drill where they cover your hands. It wasn't the Paladin Handgun Challenge, but it was another thing kind of similar. But they cover your hands in like fake blood, so it's all sticky and slippery.
Yep.
And so you have to, change mags, rack, and everything else. And with fake blood on your hands, it's a lot harder than what you would think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the guys from Black Diamond Guns and Gear did something similar to that, and I can't remember what they used. I think it was some kind of baby lotion or something like that, some kind of gel, or not gel, but baby oil or something, where they lathered it all over their hands and were trying to play with the guns and get the shots off and everything. So
it's a lot more difficult than what people think it would be.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Oh yeah.
Like when I did it, I couldn't even rack. I had to rack it on a table. It was like flopping. Another question from our Facebook room. What is your firearm of choice?
Well, I have a SIG P320 that that's what I use primarily for just about everything. My everyday carry, for my concealed carry, because it's my P320 is a full size, and I just really full size and concealed carry just to me don't go hand in hand. But my concealed carry, because it's just like an up close kind of thing, is the Taurus PT111 G2 Millennium. But out of all my handguns, the P320 is my favorite.
I'm a Glock guy. HK. Glock and HK. Another question from the Facebook room. Wow, we're getting hit up by a lot of people on Facebook. Somebody really liked the mail call segment, and they want to know if you're going to be doing more.
Well, as soon as I get more mail calls, I'll do some more for sure. I'm just waiting for stuff to come in the mail. Speaking of mail calls, the last one I had recently was one of the ones where I got some more parts for people have been donating me parts to build an AR. It'll be my first AR-15, and I'm building that, and I'm going to have it built by the time the GOA Gunathon comes up, so I'll be bringing it to
Hold on. Your first AR-15.
Yes. I always said if I'm going to get an AR, I'm going to build it myself. At least the first one. I have an AR-9, which is not an AR-15, but it's an AR-9. I love the hell out of that thing. I got an AK that shoots 5.56 rounds. So I got an SKS. But yeah, no, that'll be my first actual AR-15. Because I've always, for other videos that I've done where I've needed them, I've always borrowed them from friends and family and stuff. So, but yeah, I'm going to be building this one, and it's going to come with me up there to the Gunathon.
Yeah, bring it up, man. We're gonna have plenty of people with guns out there shooting. I'm unfortunately probably not gonna get to shoot,
Mm-hmm.
which kind of sucks.
Well, you'll have to come over and at least try my AR for me.
Yeah,
Tell me what you think about it.
Yeah, I'll come in there and try. Yeah, I definitely will come in and try. Because I want to shoot the briefcase machine gun. It's something I really want to shoot.
Oh yeah, I'd love to try that out too.
It's a suppressed machine gun built into a briefcase.
That sounds pretty cool. I watched this one video. It was about the ATF headquarters out there in West Virginia, where the guy was showing all the weird guns that they've confiscated over the years. Like one of them was a pack of playing cards, and it had a little gun inside of it. So that was pretty cool. So I think stuff like that, like James Bondish kind of stuff, is really cool.
Yeah, I went to. I've been to the museum that's actually inside the CIA.
Nice.
It's not exactly open to the public, but they have all sorts of stuff like that. But it's like stuff that's actually been used that they've, taken off people.
Mm-hmm.
Like cane guns and stuff like that. Producer Matt says that he wants you to, show him how to shoot better.
Wants me to show him how to shoot better?
Yeah, he watches your videos.
Well, I mean, come on out and get in touch with me. If you look at my About section on the YouTube page, it has my email address. If you're ever in Virginia, hit me up. I'll be glad to have you come out to my range, and I can show you what I know. I mean, I don't know if I could make you any better than what you are. I'm no trainer or anything, but I just pick up little tips and things along the way, and just with anything, I've because I've been in the auto body industry for 30 years now, pretty much almost my whole life, and I've taught a lot of people how to paint cars and become really good painters. But the main thing with anything that you're doing, pick up those tips and hints from people, but make sure you're comfortable when you're doing it. Because if you're not comfortable doing something, because I mean, you got a lot of trainers out there, and some of them will say you have to do it this way. But if your body doesn't move like theirs, you're not going to be able to do it. You're going to feel uncomfortable doing it, and your shooting is not going to improve. So the way I look at it is be comfortable with what you're doing, take what they're doing and transform it into something that you're comfortable with and make it your own. And that'll help you improve on your shooting 100%.
Yeah, my uncle, one other thing. My uncle, before he died, worked down in Mechanicsville at a auto body place as a painter.
Okay.
You wouldn't happen to have worked with anybody named Nicely before?
No, I've only been in Mechanicsville here now going on 6 years. So
okay.
Yeah, I lived in Virginia Beach. When we moved down from Massachusetts, we lived in Virginia Beach for 10 years, and then we moved up here. Yeah, it's been about 6 years now.
What caused you to move?
From Virginia Beach?
No, originally from Massachusetts to Virginia Beach, then from Virginia Beach to...
Okay, well, we moved from Massachusetts because Massachusetts is a hellhole. There's a lot of drugs and gangs and things that are go on up there, and that's it's a Democratic run state, so it's a hellhole, and they don't really give a shit about the gangs and the drugs, because they want to keep the sheeple their sheeple. So my wife and I have been looking for a way out of Massachusetts for a long time, because we didn't want our kids to grow up going through the same, crap we had to grow up, go through while we were growing up. So that's how we moved down to Virginia. Her mom had actually moved down here with her boyfriend about a year prior, and was like, okay, well, we got a place where you guys can get started. So we were like, finally, we got an out. So that's what we took, and that's how we wound up in Virginia Beach. We're not really big city folks or beach people. So when we had a chance to find another place to go that was, it's kind of country-ish out here, suburbish, but where I'm at is kind of country-ish. So, it was a nice move to get away from, the big city life and the rush of everybody and, all the bullshit that happens down there. So, it got us out of that. So, from here, if we move again, we're going to move further out into the country, probably a mountain area somewhere where, our nearest neighbor is like a mile away. So
I would love to move to a mountain area where I have tons of property, but my wife is from New York, and when I say New York, I'm not talking about like upstate New York. I'm talking about, the New York that everyone thinks about. She's actually
New York City, yeah.
Yeah, she's from like Long Island, kind of near Queens and stuff like that. So yeah. Okay, final question here. Anything you want to plug before we let you get out of here?
I'll plug the GOA and the Virginia Citizens Defense League. No, not really. Just like I said, just me being me. I'm a simple guy, and just keep watching. You never know what's going to come next on my channel. Let's just put it that way.
Okay. This is an interesting question. Sorry, it wasn't really a final question. Sorry, but Firearms Fanatic says, I have a question for you guys. Because we're from Virginia. What's our take on the concept of there is only one true Virginia, since the other Virginia was never legally ratified and just accepted because of war?
Well, is he talking about West Virginia?
Yeah,
I take.
Yeah, I've never actually even heard that before. I
Right.
live in.
Well, I'm not 100% fully from Virginia, though I live here now. So, I've never heard of that either. So, if you want to say it's West Virginia, and West Virginia is still kind of a weird state. But yeah, there's two Virginias as far as I'm concerned, because they both have Virginia in the name.
Okay, yeah, my thought on that is it happened so long ago that even if even if it wasn't ratified, it's like common law by now.
Right.
So.
Well, that's like saying, is there only one Dakota, since there's a North Dakota and a South Dakota? So, how can you say there's only one Dakota? It says West Virginia right in the name, so there's Virginia in there. It's part of Virginia, right?
Yeah, just like that part of Virginia stayed loyal to the North, and
right,
and the rest of Virginia went to the South.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, so I would say it's a non-issue in Virginia. Like I said, I'm 43 years old, and when you brought up Firearm Fanatic, that's the first time I've ever even heard of that. If anybody having an issue with it, so yeah, so it's a non-issue. Curiosity, have you heard that it's an issue? I'm asking Firearm Fanatic. Because it kind of, there's a delay between that, but because it fascinates me when people ask you stuff like that. Oh, well, I heard it's like an issue in Virginia. But yeah.
Well, there is one thing I would like to plug. I got these mystery T-shirts that are, Firearms Fanatic knows about them because he's actually helping me produce these T-shirts. I've always wondered because I've heard it so many times in my life. Yeah, the whole thing about Virginia. If you go on my YouTube channel, you'll see the whole thing about the mystery T-shirts. They are very 2A T-shirts. They're going to be fun T-shirts, something that, if you wear to the range, I'm sure you're going to get a lot of compliments on it. So if you're interested, they're $25, no matter what size you are, because we're not making any money off the deal. They're just some fun shirts. So if you want to get a mystery T-shirt, it's $25. You can hit me up on my PayPal at silverbackshootingrange@gmail.com and send me your to the same email. Send me your size and shipping address, and we'll get a shirt out to you.
All right. And that's shipped, or is that not shipped?
No, that's shipped to $25 all across the board. That's it.
All right, because our Facebook room was asking.
$25. Shipped right to you.
All right. Well, I want to thank you for coming on today. I know it was short notice.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me.
Yeah. I wanted to have you on for a while. It's just been busy with stuff. And Jason David Frank was going to be on today, but his flight was stuck.
Oh, boy.
So, yeah. Even in Canada somewhere. So.
Oh, even worse.
And like dealing with customs and stuff, so he wasn't going to be able to make it. But he will be on next weekend.
Right on.
If you want, you can always support me on Patreon, patreon.com/John Crump. It not only supports this, but it also supports the Black Swan Media YouTube page, Liberty Report.co, Trenchwork Chronicles podcast, Patriot News podcast, Gun News podcast. I sponsor a bunch of stuff. And once we raise $750, what we're going to do is we're going to buy a single mom a firearm, and then we're going to get her training. So we're going to buy her a Glock, basically, like a Glock 19 probably, which, from $500. Then the extra $250 we go to training. But yeah, so if you want to support that, support my Patreon.
Right on.
I don't really keep any of the money. I just use it to do other 2A type stuff.
Right. That's kind of what my Patreon's about. Yes, I have a Patreon. And I was kind of along the same lines of what I was trying to do is every time I reach $1,000, give away a $250 gift card to somebody, just a random subscriber, that they can use for anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be a gun. It could be some bills that they need to pay, buy some food if they don't have food for themselves or their families or whatever. Just a way just to help support people out there that are in the 2A community, because even though we can buy a gun doesn't mean that we're all wealthy and can afford everything in life, so. But I was also thinking that along those lines with that, I would also put $250 towards a 2A group of somebody's choice as well that month or whatever, if I can get $1,000 a month on my Patreon.
Yeah. All right, hold on. Okay, yeah. They want to thank you, the Facebook group, some people saying thanks for coming on and stuff like that. And something, what? Is that a judge in his book cabinet?
No. They must be talking about this right here. That's a Taurus Model 66, 357, 6-inch barrel, 7-shot revolver. It's funny because the video I did on this has the most views out of any of my videos. It's almost at 10,000 views.
I have a Raging Judge.
Right on. Not the Raging Bull, but the Raging Judge.
Yeah.
The Judge is a pretty cool gun. I almost bought that over this, but I was like, you know what? I need a 357 in my life, so I bought this 357 instead.
Yeah, I have the Raging Bull, which is the 44.
Right, yeah.
Which is
That's what I need. I need a 44. I love revolvers. I don't know. There's something about them. They're very simplistic, and I don't know. They just.
I love revolvers, man. I have
I would never.
tons.
Yeah, I would never carry one though. For some reason, I don't know. The having the 17 stack in my gun makes me feel a little bit safer versus just only having 6 rounds. I don't know. I guess if I trained enough to be a super quick, loader or everything, I'd probably feel a little bit more confident with a revolver as a carry gun. But
Kind of funny because right when you said that, a question came up: are you gonna do a speed loading episode?
no, probably not anytime soon. That's something I'll definitely have to work on. I'll have to buy some speed loaders and I'll start working on it so I can make one eventually.
I saw some crazy speed loader guy on YouTube. It was like he had like 0 subscribers or 2 subscribers, and he just did a video of him speed loading. And he was like the fastest guy I've ever seen. I wish I could find that video again.
Yeah.
It was like the only video he had, and he was just like.
That was his only video, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. Maybe he was out there trying to prove a point.
I mean, Jerry, Jerry is right.
Jerry Mikulik.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
He can speed load, but this guy was actually faster than him.
Wow. Jerry's fast at like everything he does, man. So if somebody's faster than him out there, that's impressive.
Someone already found the video. It's Clint from Thunder Ranch. I'm being told.
Okay, I'll have to search that up later and see if I can find it.
It's kind of funny how you mentioned something and someone else, I already know what that is.
Wow, that's crazy. Firearms Fanatic said that they were banned from Patreon.
Yeah, I saw that.
Something about the 2A rally they did with Brown L's.
So he violated the TOS and lost the appeal.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because what we offered in our tiers or something. I know. Okay. I actually did a podcast about Patreon with G-Webs.
Yep, I know G-Webs.
G-Webs was on there. CloverTac.
CloverTac's big into Patreon, yeah.
Yeah. Who else? A bunch of people. And I guarantee you it's like it's not they don't like a pay for play thing where like one subscriber will get something. One random subscriber will get something at this tier.
Right.
So it has to be all or nothing, or unless you do something like I'm doing and give it to a random single mom.
Right on.
So
yes, I didn't set up any tiers on my Patreon. I just figure if you want to support me, just put in however much money you want to put in every month. If you really think my silliness is that great, then come on.
Yeah, they had me on because I just started using Patreon, and they are big into Patreon.
Oh yeah, CloverTac all the time. He's always telling me stuff. Go ahead.
On there, Ghost Tactical was on there as well. And so they had me on because I'm just starting a Patreon, so they figured, while they're teaching people about Patreon, if they had someone on who knows nothing about Patreon and is going through the process of setting it up as they're speaking.
Right, there you go.
I mean, I've had Patreon, but it's only to support people, but not really to raise money. But now I'm doing that too.
Right on. Yeah, see, I don't just because, like I said, right now my financial issues, which is neither really here nor there, aren't the greatest in the world. So I haven't really supported anybody on Patreon. But I mean, if the little bit of extra money I can make off Patreon, I can put in to help support some of the other guys too. So I don't mind doing that. But like I said, my main goal with the Patreon is actually, like I said, to do those the $250 gift card giveaway and put $250 into to a organization that's out there trying to make a difference. So.
All right. Well, I really, really want to thank you. Once again, my Patreon is John Crump. You can find me on Patreon. Real John Crump on Facebook and Instagram. Twitter, it is CrumpySS. I'm here every Saturday. Next Saturday is Jason David Frank. And I want to thank everyone out there. Thank you, Amaland. We're going to be broadcast on Amaland from now on, which is A-OK with me. Also, I am now a contributor on the Hank Strange YouTube page. We're going to be doing some collaboration videos where we talk about news of the day and stuff, because he's collaborating with Amaland now, and I'm assigned to it.
Right on. Excellent.
So I'll be doing that. I'll be coming on with, talking about different news issues and stuff like that. I'll be on Tuesday on the Hank Strange show, representing GOA, I think. I wear too many hats.
Excellent.
And if you want a free GOA, not a free GOA membership, a discount GOA membership, you can go to gunowners.org/black-swan-media and get $10 off. Or you can use Silverback's link here. You want to give that out?
My link for the GOA actually causes you to pay more money to the GOA. I had it set up that way specifically because when I signed up, I actually paid extra, and I just don't think that we should be discounting our rights as far as that goes. So that's why I asked them if they could make it $5 more than what their normal fee was, membership fee is. I'm not sure what the link is. I'm trying to see if I can find it. I got it here somewhere. Sorry, I'm not organized.
Why are you looking that up? Somebody wants to know your Patreon again.
My Patreon is Gorilla's Guns on patreon.com.
All right.
Yeah, all the stuff, if you go to 90% of my videos, you'll see down in the description below, it's got my link for the GOA, it's got my link for Patreon, it's got my email address, and then a few organizations I support out there. It's got the link to Paladin Firearms Training. I'm not sure if they're actually still around. What the heck was the name of that company? They support veterans. Shit, man, I can't even believe I can't remember the name of the company. It was Overcome Academy, was one of them that they're linked with, and they're based out of Virginia Beach. What they do is they take wounded soldiers, wounded wear. That's what it was, woundedwear.org. I think they pulled that off though, because they were selling like T-shirts and things of that nature to help support the Overcome Academy. Which takes wounded soldiers and rehabilitates them and gets them back into society and everything else like that from, coming from war. Excellent story about the founder, Jason Redman. I don't know if you ever heard of Jason Redman.
No.
He lives down in Chesapeake, Virginia. When he was over in Iraq, he was actually caught in the middle of crossfire, and bullets tore through his his jacket and everything, his vest. One hit him in the eye. I mean, he was a survivor, and he put up this note on his door talking about, don't come in here frowning or with sympathy or sadness or anything for what's happened to me. I want you to come in here and treat me like a normal person, because I'm still a person, even though I have these injuries for fighting for my country, So, I mean, it's just an excellent story. If you ever get a chance to read up on Jason Redman, yeah, it's a really, really touching story.
Wow. Sounds amazing. All right, man. Thank you so much, Silverback, and we will see you guys next week, and we are out. Peace.